Earlier this year, I lost my husband, Jason, to his battle with cancer. Rosman is 26 years old. We've been together for 4 months. If I go there and everything goes great, maybe he will propose.
What?
Awesome!
The Before the 90 Days spin-off has brought us quite a few train wrecks over the years, some of the most dramatic being Ed and Rose, Angela and Michael, Jesse and Darcy, and Paul and Karini. Last season, we were introduced to some new cast members that had some unexpected stories, like Ben and Mahogany, Mike and Jimena, and Jasmine and Gino. They were pretty hard to forget. Ben the pastor was chasing a woman who looked nothing like her photos, and Mike was trying to marry Jimena, a cam girl he was giving money to. Even Jasmine and Gino had a big reveal. Gino, the sugar daddy, had been sending Jasmine's nudes to his ex. Each season, it seems like the stories have gotten more unhinged. And on this new season that just started on June 4th, we are already going to new territory. We first meet Amanda, and when we are first introduced to her, she's praying with her kids. Shortly after, she leaves the room to grab a box of her late husband's ashes for her kids to sleep with. I actually teared up during the first part of her introduction. This was a tragedy that felt very recent for her and her children. And it felt that way because it actually was a very recent and sudden tragedy.
Earlier this year, I lost my husband, Jason, to his battle with cancer.
My first thought when watching was how sad. I felt so sorry for this poor woman and her kids. But then I was confused for a second, thinking, am I watching the right show? She just lost her husband earlier in the year, but now was on a 90-day Fiancé show. So what the heck was going on here? Amanda describes her 8-year marriage to her late husband Jason as a happy time.
He was smart, just a good guy with a good heart.
But about a year ago, he suddenly was not feeling well and felt that something was wrong.
8 months after his first time going in, Jason was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal ampullary cancer.
Ampullary cancer is rare. Fewer than 1% of cancers related to the gastrointestinal tract are ampullary cancer. It's located where your bile duct and pancreatic duct join. Within only 10 days of getting his diagnosis, Jason passed away. And as Amanda is describing this, she can barely hold it together, but then says that her husband wanted her to move on and find love again.
It's not fair for you to live your life alone. Also, like, the kids need someone.
I cannot even imagine what this woman and her kids have been through, but this is when this story gets just honestly strange to me. I'm not really sure about this timeline, but I think it was a few months later, Amanda meets a guy on a TikTok live stream. She finds him attractive, so she sends him a TikTok rose.
Later in that day, he sent me a private message. Over the next couple days, we messaged back and forth.
Razvan lives in Romania, and they start talking on the phone every day. And surprise, like many on the show, he's a model, singer, and social media entertainer.
Hi, Amanda. Yes, Mom, I will sleep soon.
Amanda seems like a nice person so far who has just been through a lot, and I can see why she needs some happiness and escapism in her life. Anyone that has a spouse pass away should feel like they can date when they feel ready to, but this is where my sympathy for her becomes more of a concern for her and especially for her kids.
We've been together for 4 months.
Because this online TikTok fling becomes something more serious, fast. Amanda has decided to visit Romania to meet Razvan in person. Remember, they have been together for 4 months. And really to me, 4 months is fast to travel internationally to meet someone with any online relationship. But adding on the tragic recent death of her husband makes this even more concerningly fast.
I know that he could never replace Jason, but we started to form this really deep connection.
Even though they are saying I love you, I was hoping that the goal of this trip was to, at most, just meet each other. But this show is called Before the 90 Days, which is a pretty good hint of where she really wants this to go.
I mean, I never thought that I would meet someone so quickly. It's like we just kind of got caught up in this whirlwind of, like, emotions.
I did keep hoping while watching this, though, that she was going to give herself and her kids more time to deal with her husband's passing before she jumped into something serious. I don't see how at this point she could possibly be ready for another marriage.
Feel in my heart that we are meant to be and it will work itself out.
While going to get a spray tan, her sister Amber confirms what we are all thinking.
I don't think she's dealing with the loss of her husband. She's just trying to cover up a lot of grief.
I think this being a fling would have been a better thing for her, because her sister reveals more details about their relationship that makes this seem even more risky.
Rosman and I have broken up a few times throughout our relationship, mainly because of his social media content.
So they have been together for 4 months and have broken up a few times over Razvan's social media content. Yet that doesn't stop Amanda from wanting a future with him.
If I go there and everything goes great, maybe he will propose.
What? When she said that, I immediately made that Astro from the Jetsons sound. Uh-oh. So this woman wants a proposal from a guy she has known for 4 months and hasn't met in person. That is so fast for anyone, let alone someone in her situation. I would have expected her to at least have a few trips before that. One to meet him and see how it went, and then another one with her kids to meet him and see how that went. Then after a lot of therapy and more time to heal, then maybe consider an engagement a few years down the road. But holy crap, pump the brakes, lady.
I will be at a loss for words if she comes back engaged. They fight a decent bit for being a fairly new relationship.
Her sister is at least trying to be a voice of reason.
I'm worried that you don't genuinely care about him when you're just trying to cover this void that you have with Jason.
Amanda can't even talk about her situation without getting upset. And now I'm kind of mad at TLC for even taking this story. We are going to get a lot of new, unique storylines from this season, but this one just doesn't feel right. If there is something I can say she is doing right, and I hope she continues to do, is not telling her kids about Razvan yet. But at the same time, she is leaving them for what I consider to be a long time.
Mommy is gonna be gone 3 weeks.
They just lost their dad, and now their mom is leaving them for 3 weeks to meet a guy she met on TikTok. And if she does come back engaged, what would she even tell them? I feel so bad for her kids at this point. Either she will come back heartbroken again, or the kids will have to deal with a new man in their life too soon. There's no winning here, and this is some heavy shit, TLC. Why are you doing this to us? Earlier, when Amanda said Razvan was an actor, I think we all thought, an actor can mean a lot of things, and at the end of this episode, we see what his most recent work is. It looks more like porn, maybe? Or like softcore porn? Now I know what she means when she was saying she gets jealous.
I am a little bit insecure about some of the things that I may have to deal with.
He says it's art, which I mean, technically it's art. I'm going to start saying that my YouTube videos are art. I really don't care how people make their money, but doesn't this story just not feel right? Let me know what you think about this, please. I don't know what to think. Amanda is leaving her kids for the first time since her husband died for 3 whole weeks. Will this be worth it for her, or will she come back heartbroken? This season does have some other stories that I am interested to see play out. Tyree, for instance, seems like a nice guy, but is he truly a nice guy? We find out at the end of this first episode that his online love is really a catfish.
We talked to them for a bit, and the person admitted that they're not who they've been telling you that they are.
So is this guy even on the right show?
Osama wants to remind you to subscribe to the kiblz channel. If you don't, he will appear in your window and read you poetry.
Touch me, hold my bones.
We also have 42-year-old David this season, and we're meeting new cast members on the next few episodes. I am interested to see where they go with Tyree's story, since this is a show about 90 Day Fiancé and not catfish. We have a new season and mostly new cast. This first episode really brought on a lot of different emotions, so I'm curious to see where this season goes. Are you? Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!